Georgia. Earl, Washington.
Hydra's got a nice shirt.
So tomorrow for district championship. And,
There you go.
Okay. Ready?
Regular meeting of Washington, Missouri City Council, Monday, October 20th, 2025, 7 p.m. Bear,
Here.
Briggs,
Here.
Coulter, Heidrich,
Here.
Holtmeyer,
Here.
Patke,
Here.
Hepsel,
Here.
Solentrup.
here.
Please rise for Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will all the council members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the council meeting dated October 6th, 2025? Bear,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Patke,
Yes.
Hepsel,
Yes.
Solentrup.
Yes.
Need motion, guys.
So moved.
Second.
By Patke, second by Holtmeyer to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, please.
Approval and adjustment of agenda, including consent agenda. You have the Collector's Treasurer's Report summary for June 2025, monthly investment report for June 2025, final payment requests for Highway 100 Turn Lane Project, final payment requests for Riverfront Restroom Phase 1 Trail Grant, and a final payment request for Water Slide Addition.
Make a motion.
Motion by Holtmeyer,
Second.
second by Briggs. Any discussion on the consent, guys? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Priority items, mayor's presentations, appointments, and reappointments, police department promotion.
Good evening, council. A recent retirement that we had at the police department created a vacancy for a patrol sergeant. We conducted a very selective process for promotion, and we ultimately selected Corporal Matt Cooper to be promoted to sergeant. So, as I stated in my letter, I'm recommending that he be approved and appointed as a sergeant.
Who retired?
Sergeant Joe Kaputska. Matt, come on up. If you recall, he was just promoted to corporal about 4 months ago. So he's on the fast track, I think. But,
And not.
he's doing well.
He's
I'll
coming
make
for
a
your
motion.
job.
Sorry. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Patke. Who seconded?
Heidrich.
Mark. Second by Heidrich. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Matt.
He's selected to have his wife Jamie to pin him, so she'd come on up also.
Kids want to come up too, you guys. Bring them up. Jim, if the kids want to come up, bring
You
them.
guys want to come up too? No. He's not a man of few words, but tonight he is, I guess.
Depends on the circumstance, right?
That's right.
Police department reappointments.
Also in your packet, a letter up for reappointment are two SROs, SRO Garrett and SRO Hudson. They're doing a great job for us and the school, so I recommend them both for reappointment.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Heidrich. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Citizens' comments.
If anyone in the audience would like to speak about something that's not on the agenda, please come and state your name and address.
good evening. This is Nathaniel Hammond with 680 Scenic View Drive in Union, Missouri. So I'm basically coming up here to read some comments off from some of our, or some reviews from some of our guests. I'm with Missouri House Vacation Rentals in the area. So we have a few vacation rentals in the area. We're slowly, adding here, a few here and there. But I always like to come and we're trying to make a habit of coming here and reading some reviews so that you guys understand. A lot of people come, they enjoy our area, what we have to offer, and sometimes some of these people might even decide to, look and make a home here. So we've got a few to read. First one is from our Tara from our TAM loft. It's just over here. What she wrote was in her review was, it's a charming loft in Century Plus building. Amenities were up to date, and the unit was supplied with everything needed and then some. Safe neighborhood, just a short walk to shopping, restaurants, and nightlife. So she really enjoyed her stay. We also have Shelby, who stayed at the Tibby Flat, which is over here on Cedar Street, also known as the Cedar House. That one was a group of 8 women stayed comfortably in the Tibby Flat for a long weekend. The flat was spotless and everything worked perfectly. Also appreciated the recommendations and resources that Nat and Tyann shared with me before our girls' trip started. And last but not least, we have Jerry, who stayed at the Bee's Knees. Bee's Knees is right over here, over on Locust. The houses were fantastic, and the support from the hosts were outstanding. There's so much to do, clean and well-stocked, great communication. Our stay was beyond exceptions. No doubt, we highly recommend and could stay here again. They loved it. So that's it. Do you guys have any questions at all? Or
Thanks. Thanks for the
Great.
information.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to come up to the podium and speak? Okay, thank you. Thanks, Sherry.
Ordinances and resolutions, an ordinance amending section 110.130 of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri, relating to appointments and reappointments to certain boards, commissions, and committees.
Hopemar.
Introduced by Hopemar.
All right, good evening, council. In your packet is an ordinance to amend section 110.130 of the code relating to appointments and reappointments to certain boards and commissions. This is just a follow-up from the October 6th meeting that we had. We discussed the ordinance requiring the mayor to give written notice for nominations for appointments and reappointments to certain boards and commissions 14 days prior to. After our discussion, we decided that we would do 7 days notice, and we would go ahead and update the list of the boards that were on there. And then for the reappointments, no advance notice would be given, and those nominations would be placed directly on the council agenda for approval. So staff is recommending approval of the ordinance.
Questions? Discussion? Okay, second reading.
An ordinance amending section 110.130 of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri, relating to appointments and reappointments to certain boards, commissions, and committees. Pepsel?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Briggs? Bear?
Yes.
Altmeyer?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Solentrip?
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7A passes. Next, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a fire protection service agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Washington Community Fire Protection District.
Briggs.
Introduced by Briggs.
Good evening, council. In your packet is a letter basically outlining the highlights of the contract. This is the third entry into a contract with the Fire Protection District. It was formed in 2016. First contract was amended 5 years thereafter, and then we are amending the contract. There was notice to terminate the contract last year per the requirements of the contract, so that we had the opportunity to renegotiate, for lack of better terms. But basically what this does is correct some things that were not correct in there, and also clarified things for the city. One of the big ones that came out of finance is who owned trucks, who had title. and basically keeping it clean because they weren't showing any depreciation on trucks that the district essentially bought and signed over to the city for use while they're in service. Clarified the lease. There were fees, but it was only set up that there were no fees in one direction, so we cleaned it up that there's nobody charging anybody any leases. Increased the payment from 20% to 25%. So basically, whatever tax revenues brought in from the district, currently the city's receiving 20% of that. This would increase it to 25%. However, currently there's also a $100,000 per year stipend or capital outlay that is also attributed to the city. The 25%, when we look at it over the course of the last 10 years, about 25% of the call volume and the responses are out in the districts. We felt that to be a little bit better, and we were removing that capital piece of it to counter that. There is a truck on lease that the city has the lease for with PNC, but it's a fire protection district truck. They're responsible for those payments, and so this contract adds that. And then one of the things, this is an odd one, we could not find anybody to do janitorial service for the rural stations out in the district stations, at Station 5 in Croco, Station 6 in Campbellton. So we would put in there that one of the guys that does part-time janitorial service would run out to one of those stations once or twice a month and just check on things in the administration side. I don't expect it to be any type of burden or excess cost on the budget now, on the part-time budget. We're typically way under budget on that. Any questions?
Okay. Second read, Sherry.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a fire protection service agreement by and between the city of Washington, Missouri and the Washington Community Fire Protection District. Papsel,
Yes.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Briggs,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Patke,
Yes.
Solentrop.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7B passes. C, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the acceptance of a proposal by and between the city of Washington, Missouri and McQueen Equipment LLC doing business as McQueen Emergency Group for 2 Pierce Enforcer pumpers.
Briggs.
Introduced by Briggs.
In front of you, council, is a letter. The letter doesn't get into all the detail. I'll try to fill in some of the gaps. Right now, we're looking at our fleet, and when you start looking at lead times of trucks of 31 to 34, up to 36 months, you start having to make decisions at what point in time do you need to order. What we're having happen is our reserve is running significantly more. We've crested the 15-year mark on our couple of our frontline apparatus. And so what's happening is our downtime and our maintenance costs on those trucks are increasing. What we've seen over the past is that we have a bump in the road of those costs and it flattens back out. But that 15-year window, it gets a little rough, but then we start seeing out of service on bigger ticket items. So you start losing transmissions, radiators, and a radiator may seem like a simple thing until it's in a custom truck and it's gone for 3 months. And so what we're trying to do is trying to get some trucks in order to replace what we have so that when these trucks are approaching their 20-year life, that we have new trucks ready to roll into their spots. The timing of this is to beat a price increase. So we know from, and there's an error in this letter that I did some math since then, we know there's a 0.75% price increase November 1. And so when you start looking at the cost of these trucks at over $1 million a piece, we're getting into $17,000, $18,000 on 0.25% or 0.75%. And so this is becoming very big numbers very quickly. On top of that, we looked at the typical is a 3 to 5% price increase on trucks annually. That was what typically, if you go prior to 2020, that's what we were seeing. The truck that we're taking delivery of next month these would be twins to that truck, and that truck price to today, it's 15.038% price increase, and those trucks were ordered almost 2 years ago today or this month. So we've seen a significant cost increase over that. So this is a twofold. One, it's trying to reduce cost and get ahead of that as much as possible. The second piece of it, and get some new trucks in here. And the other thing is to get basically a slot in line so that we can get those trucks sometime We're anticipating 3 years. So those trucks wouldn't be here till 2028, latter part of 2028. I doubt they would be in service at that point in time. They'd run into 2029 before they're fully put in service after mounting all the equipment and things like that. There is an option for a lease purchase. That's what we've done with the last 2 trucks. We've been on lease purchases. That puts the burden on the lender, which is PNC Bank, is who Pierce Manufacturing works with. PNC would pay for the trucks 100% up front. Between the price increase and the lease, with them taking on the lease, it would be about a $200,000 savings to the city, which is approximately 10% of the total cost of the trucks. What we have done in the past is we enter into 12-year leases. The first 2 years are interest only, so there would be no payment for 1 year. That would be an interest-only payment. The second year would be an interest-only payment, and then third year typically around delivery, and that's what's happening on this particular truck that we're taking delivery of. We're making the first payment on a 10-year lease at that point in time. Money-wise, the plan of this is part of the new capital sales tax. However, there are money set aside right now. There was $1.1 million budgeted for the truck that is moving into that's being ordered. To date, we've spent about $90,000 on the interest payments. So the availability is there, that the monies are there from the current truck that they could borrow from it. It gives us about 30 months to figure out what to do from a funding standpoint. At some point in time, we're going to have to buy trucks. There's just no two ways about it. So it gives us time to figure that out on the lease. And should this not work out, the tax funding doesn't work out, the monies don't work out, there is an option to always liquidate them back into the market. And frankly, they'll appreciate in price between now and then. So the sale price of trucks coming off the line, you will actually make money selling trucks right off the line to a department that's in need of a truck right now.
What's the lease payment?
The lease payment on the current truck, approximately, Steve, I'm trying to do this off the top of my head without digging into numbers. It's about between $125,000 and $126,000 is where the lease is at now. The interest rate.
It's in your letter.
I thought it was 124.
120.
Okay. We have 2 on lease, so I was looking at both of them recently. Sure. And then lost my train of thought there. But that payment goes out for 10 years on that full amount.
Mm-hmm. On some of these trucks that you say you got bad radiators,
We got into jealous parts of primers recently. We had 2 pumpers down. Both primers went out, so we had 2 trucks down because they couldn't draft water. We've had turbo issues. We've had ABS issues, water pumps, on down the line. So it's normal wear and tear on a truck that's 15 plus years old. Right now, the 28-year-old truck is running first line. We have 1 truck that was involved in a crash. One of the district's truck was ran into by a car. That truck has a DEF sending unit failure. That truck is out of service a minimum of 6 weeks waiting on parts. One of the other trucks we've had, we were waiting on parts. It sat 4 months while the manufacturers tried to figure out what to do because the parts were back ordered.
Other discussion, you guys?
So from our conversations earlier, and I talked to Chief earlier, that we don't get ahead of ourselves and think we're going to pay for this when the tax passes in April. There is other avenues if we don't, and I guess in layman's terms, we got 30 months to find funding or sell the truck otherwise, if that's the case.
Essentially, you sign the contract, you get your name in line, you're committed to it. But we won't talk to the manufacturer for 24-ish months to even talk about this after that. Because there's nothing that you're just waiting. You won't even have any pre-construction, anything until that point in time.
Well, and this is an answer to my question at the last Capital Improvement Sales Tax Committee meeting that we had. If the tax doesn't pass, what do? We don't just do without a fire truck for the next 8 years, 10 years plus. You have to continue to update your fleet. And therefore, what Chief is looking into now is we have to update that. It's just the right funding mechanism to get to that point, so.
And trying to find it in a way that you can save funds where you can. I know there's a price increase November 1st. I'm willing to bet there's a price increase coming February 28th, March 21st as well. April 1st, somewhere in there, there'll be another price increase. It'll be a quarterly price increase.
Total savings on it now is $188,363,
Not including the price increase of almost 18,000. And that would be going for the,
That's
that would
with
be with
that.
that would be the lease. And the lease would have to come to you as another ordinance through PNC Bank. So we have up to 45 days to get the lease worked out. The lease they would take and basically they pay for the trucks 100%, and then the city would realize the prepayment discount of that $178,000. So PNC essentially takes the risk at that point. I have contacted banks locally. I spoke to one of them in person, and he said that they could not commit to lease with terms this far out. So they couldn't do what this lease is doing because of the duration of the lease. So that was an interesting conversation to have with that bank, and I explained to him the rate we were getting. He goes, "Yeah, I don't think I could touch it anyway." And right now, I can't quote your rate until we actually go and talk to the leasing company.
But you're saying if the tax doesn't pass, there is a way out?
Absolutely. And Mark and I spoke about that. He provided some insights, speaking with the dealer as well. The beauty of it is if you're getting to that 24-month mark and it's not looking very positive, there could be changes made to the truck is basically slots in the line of the production line, and there can be changes made to make that truck even more marketable. And so then you sell it at that point in time and take the appreciation. It was interesting. I've never had this happen before, but when we were doing pre-construction on the current truck, we were getting upcharged. Normally, it was just kind of swapping parts and pieces around on a truck when it was a 10, 13-month lead time. This far out, there was cost differences between the time you made a change, the credit you would get versus the cost today. We changed wheels, for example. The type of tire size had to change. There was a significant cost difference in tires from 2023 to 2025. And so we had to absorb that.
In the past, Mr. Piontek has told us not to dabble in real estate as a city, correct? Should we not buy fire trucks and sell them for appreciated value?
I have no problem with that.
Okay.
We've had a discussion about how to accomplish that very thing.
All right. Other questions or discussions, guys?
No, I called Tim today on the same issue because I was trying to make it work in my head, but thanks for the explanation because reading it didn't do it for me.
It was hard to put it on
Not that your
paper.
writing is horrible, but
It's not great.
I try to get his letters to be lost, right, Tim?
Yes, sir.
Second reading, Sherry, please.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the acceptance of a proposal by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and McQueen Equipment LLC, doing business as McQueen Emergency Group for 2 Pierce Enforcer Cruisers. Pepsel,
Yes.
Heidrich,
aye.
Briggs,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
Altmeyer,
Aye.
Patke,
Yes.
Sullentrup.
Yes.
By your vote, guys, 7C passes. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Tim.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a sanitary sewer easement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and Clover Valley Properties LLC.
Heidrich.
Introduced by Heidrich.
Good evening, council. In your package, you can see a sanitary sewer easement that services the lots on North Crest. One of the first lots looking to build theirs, looking to get a building permit, and it was discovered that that sanitary main in the rear of the properties was actually built on the neighboring property, not in the easement. So this is just an easement dedicating for where the sanitary sewer actually is so that those lots can use it, and get a building permit, so.
Questions? Discussion? Second reading.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a sanitary sewer easement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and Clover Valley Properties LLC. Pepsel,
Yes.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Briggs,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
Altmeyer,
Aye.
Patke,
Yes.
Sullentrup.
Yes.
By your vote, ordinance 7D passes. Last one, E, please.
A resolution supporting the adoption of the City of Washington, Missouri Parks and Recreation Master Plan.
evening, Council. So on September 10th, the Parks and Rec Commission formally approved the Washington Parks Master Plan. That passed unanimously with full support from the all commission members. As with all Parks and Rec's master plans, we did get a lot of information and feedback from the community. We did 2 public meetings and an online survey, and wanted to make sure that the needs and priorities of the Washington residents were represented. So following that extensive community engagement and feedback, we recommend that the City Council also support the Washington Parks Master Plan.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Do we need to have someone say, brought up by?
It's a resolution.
It's a resolution.
Sorry, I thought it was important.
Nope, resolution. We're good.
I'm sorry, who introduced? Thank you.
Jeff and then Joe, I think.
Yep.
Any further discussion, you guys? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
Mayor's report?
The next sales tax meeting is November the 7th at 11:30. That's a Friday. And hopefully we'll have a lot tonight in the meeting. I know I did. I don't know how it's going to change what's going to happen on the 7th. So we shall see.
City Administrator's report?
He stole my thunder. That's all I got. So,
Council comments?
Just thanks to all those who did come tonight for the open house. It's nice to hear from the public and the, positivity of what we're doing forward, so, yeah, thanks to all that.
City Attorney's report, public vote on whether or not to hold a closed meeting to discuss personnel, legal, and real estate matters pursuant to section 610.021 RSMO 2000. Pepsel?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Briggs?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Hultmeyer?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Fallentrop?
By your vote, we're in executive session, guys. Thank you, everyone.